What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Revelers Rule Podcast. And tonight I am joined by someone who is a very familiar face. You have seen him many times on my channel and on my socials. And of course, I'm talking about the original dad smoking cigars, Kevin Garrett.
What's up, y'all?
We're chilling, obviously, in his backyard oasis. You've seen it a few times when we've been, just recording and shooting the shit and stuff like that. But this is kind of a bit of a bittersweet time. So, Dad, why don't you tell just a little bit about what's going on?
Take one last long look.
Oh man,
It's the house has been sold.
Yeah,
I've gotten a divorce. I'm going to be moving on to a new chapter in my life. That's the bitter part, but with every door closing, a new one opens, and
yes,
I've got some good things happening in my life, and so we'll talk about that in the future. But I'm gonna miss this place. We've made a lot of good friends here. The neighbors are fantastic. The view is phenomenal. It's a $1 million view, so I'm really gonna miss that. But we're only moving 2 miles away, so we'll be able to at least stay in contact with the friends. It's too bad we can't take the view with us.
Yeah.
And gonna miss it. We've been here for the last 6 years, and it's been a nice run. But I'm sure God has something better in store. So we'll see how that goes.
Definitely. So we are making the most of, as you said, a bittersweet situation. We're going to enjoy the cigars, enjoy the view, enjoy the conversation, and forget about everything that's bugging us and just have a good time. So
there will be no crying.
There will be no crying.
There's no crying with smoking.
So sometimes there is. Sometimes there is. But we got a couple of special cigars here tonight that were sent to me by my friend Zohar Reisman, owner of ZR Cigars. He sent me a nice little care package, but the cigars that I chose to bring to my dad's tonight are the Nicaraguan. So I don't know because I didn't do my research before, which is very, very on brand for me. But I'm pretty sure it's a Nicaraguan Puro. So, and as I've said many times on my channel, on my socials, Nicaraguan tobacco is honestly my favorite, no matter which region it's from, whether it's from Condega, Yalapa, or wherever. I love it whenever it's in any cigar. It's part of the blend. So I don't know about you, Dad. Well, I don't know if you have a favorite tobacco or if there's just one that kind of tickles your fancy a little bit more than usual.
Definitely Nicaraguan.
Mm-hmm.
I love that. Anything that's from the Esteli region,
yes,
always good.
Mm-hmm.
But I just say if it's smooth, puts a lot of smoke in the air,
mm-hmm,
I'm going to enjoy it.
Absolutely.
It's from.
Speaking of which, let's go ahead and light up and see what we make of it. Ooh, a little bitey right off the bat, and I get that word from our good friend Earl. Who that's the word he uses when cigars have a little bit of bite to him. He calls them a little bit bitey.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely a little peppery at the start.
I will say that might be an error on my part because Zohar did tell me to let them rest, and I let them rest, but probably not for as long as I should have. So that might have affected the flavor just a little bit, but again, that's on me. He did tell me to do that. So Zohar, I'm sorry. I apologize, but they're still got some pretty good flavor right off the bat.
Nice draw, a little leathery.
Mm-hmm.
That spiciness on the second draw going away just a little bit.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, it packs a little bit of a punch right off the bat. But it's good. Honestly, it's not a negative whatsoever. But yeah, this is my first time trying the Nicaraguan, and you know what? Honestly, I'm already impressed. So, Dad, you've had the Anniversario before, haven't you?
I have, yeah.
It's a good cigar. It's a really good cigar. I got a couple of those in the care package as well. But this is a nice new experience. Every time I have to maybe stop the video and restart it, Dad always does the thing from Wayne's World. It's like
Wayne's World countdown.
4, 3. Okay, party.
Excellent.
So, Dad. Obviously, there's a lot of changes going on, but I think it's probably a good time to just think about.
We fear change.
We fear change. We definitely do, and there's a whole lot of changes going on, which we won't fucking get into. But it's it's safe to say that across the board, not just in our life, but all over the place, change is happening everywhere.
Change is good.
Some changes,
not so much.
Some change is good. Yes, some change not the best, but we do the best we can. But I think it's important to like focus on what is going good in life, and obviously cigars is a given. Whenever you have a chance to sit down and smoke. I was talking with a friend of mine named Ray. He's one of the guys who runs Cigar Clowns. It's another brand I got, connected with. Is, some of the best memories that I have, and I'm sure similar to you, is just sitting down and having a cigar. Definitely with you, with other friends and things like that.
Absolutely.
Some of the best memories and conversations I've had are over a cigar. And we've been spending a lot of time together lately, coming over and hanging out here, just, really enjoying the place until, the move happens and whatnot. Till we bid it adieu. But, honestly, it's one of those things that, you and I have experienced significant changes throughout our life from the time, I was a kiddo, and to up until now. But, there's been a lot of really good changes. I mean, honestly, just being able to do this sort of thing, you and I together, and, as much as possible, and being able to do the podcast and have the cool people on that I've had. And I will say that everybody gets super excited whenever you are on my socials or whenever you're on the show.
Well, that's great to hear. That's very nice. Thank you, everybody.
I want to give a special shout out to your biggest fan, a guy by the name of Winfield Felder. He is always very happy to see you on the show. And every time you are on the channel or on my socials, he always comments, "Pops." He gets really happy whenever.
Pops. It's like the guy that says, "Bikes."
Tom Segura.
Yeah.
That's right. Bikes. From the episode of Scared Straight from 1999 that they aired on national television uncensored. I don't know if any of you ever watched that, but that was a hell of a thing to watch. It was crazy that they had it completely uncensored, no filter on, I think it was like on Fox or something like that.
Yeah, it was.
I remember being in high school watching that. I don't remember a whole lot of it, but it was unsettling. Yeah. It was very unsettling. It wasn't like the show that was on when like you were younger.
Speaking of unsettling, that sounds like my life right now.
Oh no.
Getting a divorce and you're forced out of your comfort zone.
Yeah.
And you find yourself doing a lot of things you never thought you'd do. I just turned 64 a couple of weeks ago, and I thought at 64 I'd be planning fishing trips and playing more golf, and instead I'm going on Match.com to meet prospective new ex-wives. Oh, God. Although I got to tell you, I've met some really nice people that I otherwise never would have met.
Yeah.
And I'm actually dating a fantastic woman who, I won't throw her name out on the interwebs, but she knows who she is, and she's amazing. And so, some good things come out of bad change. And so, I figure, everybody says things happen for a reason, and God does have a plan, and I'm waiting to see what that plan is. But I'll tell you what, while you're going through it, though, change is a mother. Moving out of a house you've lived in for years. I tell you, the thing I hate more than doing my taxes is moving out of a house.
Moving is a bitch.
And I've got a great cigar smoking spot here. It's a California room with a fireplace and a TV. And right now, Kyle and I are out on the cooking area. It's a nice bar top with a barbecue, and we've got a great view, and it's a great place to eat, drink, and
be merry.
And that too.
Be merry.
And we're gonna miss this spot.
Yeah.
So, but we'll build new traditions and new spots.
Absolutely.
That's what change is all about. And
it's one of those things where sometimes, even an unwanted change of scenery can turn into, a blessing in disguise and stuff like that. Because Dad was just showing me pictures of the new place he's going to be moving into here pretty shortly, just in a couple weeks. And honestly, seeing some of the different, especially the backyard and the balcony you have and stuff like that, I can, see us really getting to chill out on the patio and on the balcony and having a couple cigars and really just having some good, relaxing quality time like you and I always do. This is one of a number of things that really, bonds you and I. We get to sit and talk over a good cigar. It never fails that I always have a good conversation with you whenever we get to do this. And it's also a nice escape for me to get out of the house, right from away from the wife and kids. As much as I love them,
Right.
you need a little bit of time away.
Probably like it as much as you do, son, whether you realize it or not.
Well, I mean, that might be a little bit debatable according to my wife, because usually she has that look on her face when I'm about to walk out the door, like, don't leave me. I'm like, you'll be fine.
Right.
You'll
They
be.
haven't killed you yet.
No, they haven't killed you.
Focus on the yet.
They haven't killed you or driven you to the point of having to commit yourself yet, though we've come close on that second one a few
But
times.
then 18 years goes by and they're leaving and you're going so soon.
I don't even, that's the thing that I'm having a hard time with right now, because like, you always see them growing up and getting older,
Right.
but now I have a junior hire. That's tripping me out just a little bit, because that's just like the middle ground in between,
The years where they know everything.
a kid and a high schooler. Because once they're in high school, they're not really that much of a kid anymore. They're an adolescent, and pretty soon, I'm sure, like, it's probably already happened, and I just can't quite tell. Theo's voice is going to start dropping here pretty quick. I mean, he's already sounding a little bit more like a bigger kid, and
Right.
not a
Can't wait till the voice drops.
Oh, that's going to be interesting, because I remember when I was in 7th grade, that's when it started to kick in, and I sounded like Edward Furlong on Terminator 2. My voice was squeaking and cracking and all of that kind of stuff, and which that really sucks for him, because that was fucking documented, like his voice squeaking and screeching in between every other word. And I remember I had friends who, like, a couple people who I won't name, not that they watch this, but I won't name, like, I remember they would talk on the phone with me and they try to get me to sing The Memory Remains by Metallica. And there were certain parts I could not sing because my voice would break. And they did it.
Yeah.
They did it to be mean. They did it to be not nice. And I haven't
They're
forgotten.
probably still on your kill list.
Like in Billy Madison.
People who must die.
People to kill, cross out a couple names.
Right.
I'm just waiting for the call to say, I'm really sorry for that thing I did. No, I don't really care.
Okay, for those of you who remember on this, apologize now. It's never too late.
No, for sure. But please don't make a kill list. It's very inappropriate. It's not prudent. We're not gonna do it. Don't do it.
I always told my boys in grade school, be nice to all the girls, because a lot of them grow up really pretty and they'll remember nice to them.
And I remembered that, honestly. Like, I was talking with my very first guest, a wonderful lady by the name of Michelle Dowd, one of my old college professors, the esteemed author Michelle Dowd, who is just doing fantastic, and she's working on a follow-up to her book, Forager, Field Notes to Surviving a Family Cult. If you haven't read that book, you really need to read it, because read it before the movie comes out, because as far as I know, there's supposed to be a film version.
Or before you fall into a cult lifestyle and you don't know it.
Oh, dear God, please, yeah. But I was talking to her about something similar, which is really just, advice for life, regardless of who you meet, male or female, and that the idea is that you want to leave them better off for having known you. You don't want to leave a friendship where the person basically, after you walk away and they walk away, they're thinking, no, fuck that guy. I hate them. I never want to talk to them again, and I hope they die.
God, that's never happened to me.
I
got 2 ex-wives. Probably happened once.
Maybe once or twice, but I'm pretty sure if there's anybody else who did feel that way, you wouldn't want to know about it. That's not something that is
right away anyway.
That's not a benefit to know. It's more burdensome than anything.
I'm just going to assume we left on good terms.
What's it? Better living through denial or assumption or whatever you want to call it. So that's how my kids live, better living through denial, because they like to live in denial of the things I tell them to do and what not to do. But
rationalize, and let's face it, rationalizations are more important than sex. Have you ever gone a week without a rationalization? I don't think so.
Probably not.
I stole that from a movie, by the way. I can't take full credit for that statement, but it's true.
What movie? Now I have to watch that movie, because there's probably a lot more behind that.
The Big Chill, Jeff Goldblum.
Oh,
his character said it.
Oh, yes, Jeff Goldblum. Jeff's very nice, very funny, very, very interesting guy. He's a little eccentric, that guy.
Well done.
Yeah.
Well done.
He was actually really good in Wicked. Did you watch the Wicked movie? I didn't realize how talented of a singer he actually is. He's actually a very talented singer and musician.
He's really famous for his apartments.com commercials, I hear.
Yeah, and that's all he's famous for. That's all he's been known for.
The pinnacle of his career.
No.
He had a middling movie career, and then all of a sudden he rose to fame.
Yeah, he was only in just a few like really, kind of minor movie roles.
Some dinosaur movies.
Some dinosaur movies. He played a scientist that turned into a fly.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one.
That movie is freaky.
Yeah, especially when you're 11 years old.
It scared me less than The Exorcist, which I watched when I was like 9 or 10.
God.
And that was on regular cable too. I remember being up in my room, and it was one of those things where once it came on, it was like a train wreck. I couldn't
see that.
Cannot look away. But I think I came in like in the middle. I missed I thankfully missed the crucifix scene.
Oh, have mercy.
And I think I saw it from like after she threw Ellen Burstyn across the room onward.
So I remember I was a freshman in college, and my girlfriend was over, and she said,
I remember this story.
And
I remember this story.
I said, are you sure? She goes, yeah, let's watch it. And after that movie was over, she goes, I'm sleeping here tonight. And so... And I was expressly forbidden to have girls spend the night at my house, of course. I was 18 fresh years old.
Naughty.
And, so I let her spend the night. And, of course, I was a gentleman, and I slept on the floor, and she slept on the couch. And my mom came in the morning, and she goes, you had a girl spend the night? And I said, yeah, Mom, but we watched The Exorcist. She went, oh, okay.
I get it. I get it. Sometimes you got to let, some situations are pretty understandable, but
sex was out of the question after watching that movie anyway.
Oh,
so.
No kidding! Goodness gracious, something would be wrong with you psychologically if, like, afterwards, like, so you want to have a roll in the sheets, fancy a tumble.
That was the pee-pee shrinker right there.
You sure can turn a phrase, Dad. Well, I mean, you and I watched a bunch of horror movies together when I was growing up. Like, I think, like, were you ever concerned for me with some of the horror movies I liked, or some of the ones that I liked to watch? Was it like you?
I was concerned that I may have to be concerned, but no. You seem to have a normal, healthy, red-blooded fascination for horror movies, but you weren't wearing, you weren't into the goth scene. It's not like you were wearing dark eye makeup and trench coats, and you weren't dyeing your hair black.
I remember the one time I wore black nail polish, you freaked the hell out.
Well, I don't know about freaked out.
Well, you weren't happy.
I was unhappy. I was what the F is that?
Which is funny, considering that, just like that, of all the things I could have done as a, adolescent.
You're becoming a Marilyn Manson follower at the time.
Oh, dear God, no. I mean, I had a fascination with Marilyn Manson but honestly, it really ended with his music. Like, for a while, there was like the mystique around his life and the rumors and to
quote Garth Alger, if he was an ice cream flavor, he'd be
pralines and dick. Which that especially goes for present day with all the crap he's been accused of and stuff like that. Which
he was a bad human being, and he still is a bad.
He's just
There's still hope for him, I'm sure, but
he's a messed up individual just in general. So, but
shit be floating.
But Kanye would give him a run for his money for sure. In ways that we won't discuss, but anyway. But no, I remember they were,
and we don't even have to mention, but his initials are P. Diddy.
Subtle, real subtle. But
I respect the man's privacy.
No, like he respected everybody else's privacy. But no, kind of going back to horror movies and stuff like that. I remember sitting down and watching like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre with you and stuff like that, and couple others, and then there was like, nowadays, honestly, I'm a little wary of sitting down and watching like a newer one, like one that I haven't seen, because I don't know what I'm in for.
The horror flicks today, man, they pull no punches.
No, for sure. There's certain
ones fuck you up
royally. I'm still daring myself to watch the Terrifier movies.
No, I'm not happy.
I wouldn't expect you to. But the thing is, though, I've seen on YouTube like all of the kill scenes,
trailers, and I get fucked up. It's like, no.
I watched
turn on all the lights.
I watched the kill scenes from the movies on YouTube, and I'm just like, I
really watch the Saw movies? What's the series that's been out 2 or 3 iterations with the doll?
Annabelle.
Annabelle. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I don't have any interest.
Yeah, there were some possessed doll movies in my day, and those were bad enough. But then nowadays you get to the
things that make you go.
Yeah. No, thank you.
You know what's what's
I have enough trouble sleeping at night these days, folks.
Yeah. You know what's funny and sad is that Michael Jackson's Thriller still scares the shit out of me.
This boy.
I don't know.
Driving down the road, I had this mixtape in my car, and Thriller would be coming.
Well, it wasn't a mixtape. It was the actual album Thriller. He played it constantly. I knew all the songs by heart.
That song would be coming on, and if the sun was going down, he'd say, turn it off.
For some reason, that like kind of...
And you love watching the undead movies. I just don't get it.
Those don't even scare me that much. I don't know why, but it's like, I think it's just like a combination of like the music and the ambience of like the music video and the song. It kind of...
I did grow up immune to the undead movies that you guys were watching, the undead series and whatnot.
Yeah.
And I started watching them, and I actually started having bad dreams where I was, milling among the undead. But then there came a point where it's like, hey, it's just a TV show, and I actually got hooked on The Walking Dead. All the iterations of it, all the different series, they were fantastic. The actors were great.
Yeah.
And after a while, it kind of got so mundane, it was like, I'm done.
Yeah. Oh, they're eating somebody else again. Oh, okay. Yeah, I've seen that before. Yeah. I think some people would actually welcome a zombie apocalypse right now.
If you ever read the book, yes, I said read the book, World War Z.
Yeah.
At the end, it totally makes sense. Eventually, the zombies, they crumble.
Yeah.
They degrade to a point where they can no longer walk, and they just start using bulldozers and putting them in big piles and burning them up. I mean, that's what happens. The body degrades. It becomes nothing. It turns to dust, and then battle's over.
Well,
that's
like
Russell Brand.
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah. But like unless it's like a situation like The Walking Dead where technically everyone all over the world is already infected, and if you die, you end up becoming one of the Walking Dead no matter what.
Yeah, but inevitably somebody's going to be immune, okay? And they're going to find a cure. Just like in all these movies, like, in The Last of Us, one girl's immune. There's always going to be somebody who carries the antibodies to any disease. It's just the way life is. And, some people don't get the flu, and some people don't get the pox. And
I mean, I got COVID once. I only got COVID once. Once. Only once. And that was enough. Yeah, if you've ever seen Johnny Dangerously, first of all, if you haven't seen it, you haven't lived, because it's freaking hilarious. Michael Keaton in his heyday when he was still doing just comedy before
he had all his hair.
He had all his hair. I mean, he still has most of it, just not as much.
Right.
But no, it's a very funny parody film, and you'll laugh your ass off. It has the likes of Peter Boyle and Joe Piscopo and
a lot of great actors.
The absolutely stunning Mary Lou Henner, who I still have a massive crush on after all these years.
She has photographic memory. Did you know that?
I did not know that, and that just makes me like her more than I already did.
You can cite the day something happened, and she'll give you the date and the time in history that it happened. It's kind of amazing. She can tell you what day of the week it was. Just like, come on, man.
I can barely remember what I talked about this morning, and it's just people having that kind of ability. It's uncanny.
I have to look up my date of birth and to tell you it was a Saturday. I mean, it's just like, come on, man. I can't remember.
I was
Saturday.
Born on a Tuesday, wasn't I?
I would say probably. I know it was during the week.
Solomon Grundy, born on a Monday.
Okay, the accountant.
Yeah, we saw the second one. Have you seen it yet?
Mm-hmm.
It was really good. I actually enjoyed it a lot.
Not as good as the first one.
No, it was a little bit more of a nail biter. The second one, the first one had its more lighthearted moments, whereas the second Anna Kendrick kind of cut through the more grim parts of it, whereas the second one was a little bit more of a tour de force, kind of brutal, a little bit intense, and
more of an action flick.
If you really want to have,
it's kind of more like the Equalizer. It was
a little bit
along that vein, which
except he's autistic, pretty much.
Okay. So maybe he was great at math. He could be an equalizer, or he could be a divisor, or he could be a multiplier. Because he knew math. He had a thing for math.
This is true. This is very true. If you wanted though have like a little bit of an anxiety attack every time you watch an episode, watch the second season, the newest season of The Night Agent. I don't know if you've seen the first season.
I love The Night Agent.
The Night Agent was really good. The first season was great. The second season is driving me absolutely insane.
I'm waiting until I can binge watch them all.
Because Taryn and I, my wife and I, we've been watching episode bit by bit, kind of piecemeal, because normally we'll watch like episode after episode after episode. But the last couple of episodes have been just driving me up the wall because of how intense and how just you're just waiting for the other shoe to drop, and it's just like absolutely insane.
That's how we did it in the old days. We watched the show on a Tuesday, and then we had to wait till the next Tuesday.
It's not even waiting for the next episode necessarily. It's while the episode is happening. Then I'm just like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Like I have such a hard time sitting through it just because of that. So it's a great show, but yeah, be prepared because the second season's pretty insane. And we just started watching the second season of the sadly recently canceled The Recruit with Noah Centineo.
Sorry, I haven't watched it.
You should watch it. It's really good. It's kind of along the lines of The Night Agent, except instead of like working for a branch of the government that technically doesn't exist, he's an FBI lawyer, and he just gets mixed up in some crazy shit.
Got it.
So, but it's a really good movie. You know what's interesting? You know who Noah Centineo is, right?
I don't.
Okay. Well,
I probably would if I saw him.
He was actually in Black Adam. He played the Atom Smasher.
Oh yeah.
He played the Atom Smasher.
Gotcha.
He was actually tapped to play He-Man at one point.
He-Man.
Yep. Which the live action He-Man movie comes out next year. Did you know that?
I did know that.
I am actually really excited about it. I just hope that they don't screw it up the way they did with Dolph Lundgren's version, which I still love. It's a guilty pleasure movie. I have enjoyed that movie since I was a kid, but they kind of messed it up a little bit.
It seems kind of campy now when you watch it. You know,
well, not only campy,
cartoony campy,
but they didn't even stick to like.
It had the great Billy Barty in it, though.
They had the great Billy Barty.
He was one of the great small people entertainers of his day.
Yes, I actually really liked him.
He had a kids' TV show when I was a young boy, and it was kind of a circus atmosphere.
Ah, gotcha.
Nowadays, you know, people would think he was being exploited back then.
I was going to say they're exploiting the little people.
In fact, when I was a kid in grade school, we'd say, "Hey, did you guys hear Billy Barty committed suicide?" "No, what happened?" "He jumped off a curb."
Oh.
Now that's politically incorrect. And
yeah, you couldn't make that joke about Peter Dinklage.
Well, no,
because
you can't get away with that.
No, you can't. Because I honestly feel like Peter Dinklage could kick my ass. Just he's a pretty tough looking guy.
Well, there was that scene in Seinfeld where he took a running jump across a conference room table. Was it Seinfeld?
No, that was Elf, Dad.
That was Elf.
That was Elf.
I'm mixing my shows.
That wasn't even a show. That was a movie with Will Ferrell, which is another like kind of.
That's a show that's 90 minutes long.
It's become one of my kids' favorite Christmas movies, just because it's so out there and so bonkers. And I remember hearing a story about like during filming that movie, like James Caan wasn't the biggest fan of Will Ferrell. He thought he was just a little bit too much, and he's like, I don't really get what you're doing.
Will Ferrell is too much, but that's what makes him great, because
that's
he either hits or he misses. I mean, when he hits big or he misses big.
Right.
It's like, you know, in baseball, you either hit a home run or you strike out, and that's Will Ferrell in my estimation. He's incredibly talented, incredibly gifted, but he goes for the home run every time, and sometimes he whiffs. But
after the film was done and they were at the premiere, and James Caan is like watching all of that kind of like play out in the movie, he's laughing his ass off, and he walks up to Will Ferrell afterwards. He's like, "All right, you know what? What's going on?"
What's going on? So, audience, for those of you who may know what tinnitus is. So like I was saying, I'm one of 30 million people out there that has what we call tinnitus or tinnitus. It's ringing in the ears. It's pitch. It spiked about 16 months ago, and so I usually wear a bud or a hearing aid in my ear, so I listen to these tunes in the background that just kind of cancels it out. But once in a while, if I use an earbud, it goes dead. But so if you hear music in the background while we're chit-chatting with you, that's just the stuff that cancels it out. A lot of people say it sounds like Zen music or meditation music, but
it does a little bit.
It does cancel out the 8,300 hertz that rings in my brain. So,
yeah, which at one point in time, it was like so bad you just wanted to like
stick a pencil in my ear, folks.
It's good times, real good times.
Yeah, but you learn to live with it and work around it, and sometimes it spikes and it's bad, and other times it's just in the background. You don't even think about it. So
I'm honestly surprised that with all the stereo blaring and band stuff that I did after high school, that I didn't end up with a nice case of tinnitus, however you pronounce it.
Either way.
because
most people get it and it comes and goes. You get it for a loud event and you have it for a day or two and it goes away.
A fun story. We went to see Aerosmith when I was a freshman in high school. We went to the Hollywood Bowl to watch them play, and the next day, my ears had blood in them. That was kind of an interesting thing to find.
Yeah,
after
we were pretty high up at that show too.
We were in the nosebleeds, big time nosebleeds, to the point where like we had binoculars to kind of look down at the stage, get a closer look.
Remember when I saved that drunk lady from falling over 2 rows and breaking her neck?
Oh dear God, that was there. There were a lot of people that fit that description that night. Wasted, plastered. They were off the reservation, but because of where we were, looking through the binoculars at the stage, there was a delay in the sound getting to us. Like, you would see Joey Kramer hit the freaking snare and the sound wouldn't get to me until like a half second later. It was just because of where we were, it was kind of crazy.
Doppler effect.
Yeah, there you go. But no, that was a really good show. And it's funny because we had seen Van Halen the year prior. That was my first concert. And the same guy opened up for both bands, Johnny Lang, the blues guitarist and singer. Kid Johnny Lang. And I swear, he's still doing stuff. Last I heard, I looked him up not that long ago, and he's still doing his thing. But I swear to God, he wore the exact same outfit both times. He wore these baggy-ass cargo pants and a gray tank top both times. Yep. It was like he stayed in that outfit for whenever he did a concert. But the guy's a hell of a guitar player for sure, and he was a great
raspy voice.
Yep, it was a great opening act, and that was a great show. I got to see. I grew up like honestly liking my dad's music more than I liked some of the more modern groups and stuff like that that I had when I was a kid. And it wasn't until later that I started actually liking different kinds of music.
Hey,
but
Kyle, how many shows my dad took me to see that had Aerosmith in them?
0.
There you go.
So don't ever think I wasn't grateful, because I remember when he showed me the tickets that he got me for Van Halen. It was actually on July 4th, 1998 rather. So that was when we went to see Van Halen over at Glen Helen Park.
The old Blockbuster Pavilion.
Yep, which is now, it's no longer Blockbuster because Blockbuster's not a thing anymore.
What is it?
I think it's Hyundai. I think it's owned by Hyundai.
The Hyundai Pavilion.
Yeah, the Hyundai Pavilion. Who knows? It may have changed since I last looked into it, but I haven't been to that venue since Taryn and I were dating. We went and saw Jason Aldean and Rascal Flatts.
The last time I tried to go there, we never got in. The traffic was so bad. We said, F it. Let's go to a bar and watch the Dodgers play in the World Series against the cheating Astros.
Who were you going to see?
It was some country lineup. We bought the tickets I bought the tickets at a charity event. And
okay.
So we went 3 hours early thinking that'd be plenty of time, and we spent 3 hours in line waiting to get in, and so we just said screw it.
That's the problem with that venue is that it's kind of tucked into a certain area off the freeway.
It's in the taint.
It's in the devil's driveway.
That's right.
That's where it kind of lies, and I haven't been there in so long. I can't remember how.
If you haven't gone Saturday, get there early Friday and park your car, because it's just
park your car and sleep in your car the night before, and then spend your day there and just relax. There's
only 2 ways in.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Arrive early, leave early.
Yeah,
like we do in California. People make fun of us, but it's a thing.
Well, I remember when I went to see Metallica with my buddy Justin a couple of years ago. Almost 2 years. Mm-hmm. There was at the new the SoFi Stadium over in
Spaceship.
Yeah, that place is something else. But it's a really cool place. But the parking was just unbelievable, and it took us longer to get out of that lot than it did to get in.
Another great venue to leave early. I've been to many Charger games there, and I'll tell you,
we didn't have the option just because you don't leave a Metallica concert early. There was just no way. We left when everybody else did, and I stayed because I wanted to buy a T-shirt. I had to buy a T-shirt as my
buy your T-shirts early, and you stand at the exit waiting for that encore to play, and then you just
that probably would have been smart. That probably would have been the smart thing to do, just because the shirt I got I like. It's basically just the 72 Seasons album cover. But there was another one that I thought was really cool, and by the time we got to the merch booth, it was all sold out.
Yeah.
But it was also more of a pricey t-shirt, and I ended up spending more than I planned that night, which is usually the case when you go to a show like that.
Yeah.
And I made the mistake of buying a cocktail while I was there, and I spent $30, and that was fun.
Yeah, that's the tragedy of going to any shows these days. It does cost you an arm and a leg, and the average fan has to save up. And so you want to stay till the end because you want to see everything that they're going to do, and so you got to just plan to endure it. But when you go to a big venue like a SoFi that holds 80 or 90,000 people for a concert, you better plan on being there for a couple hours after because it's in an old neighborhood. In fact, SoFi is on the same site where Hollywood Park, the old horse racetrack used to be.
Yeah.
Next to the Forum where the Lakers and Kings used to play, and now that's a concert venue as well. But if you're at the Forum, you can stay till the end because it only holds 15,000 people. But SoFi holds 80 to 90,000 for a concert and about 75 to 80,000 for a football game. And I'm telling you, man, it's going to take you a good couple hours to get out of there because there's only a couple different ways out, and you're going through neighborhoods, and it's just, unfortunately, it's going to be a slog getting out of there. And it's California traffic. I mean, it's a lovely state. I mean, there's so many great reasons to live here.
Yeah.
You can't reproduce the weather anywhere else in this fine country of ours, and that's why we pay the highest taxes in the land. They call it a sunshine tax, whatever you want. But
sunshine tax, asshole tax, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
But I will say the cool thing, at least I thought it was pretty cool, is that the weekend before Taylor Swift played SoFi and Metallica beat her attendance record. So I like Taylor Swift, all right, but I'm not a huge Tay-Tay fan.
Just weeks before that, my now ex-wife and I were in Denver for an unrelated event, and we went to a museum that was right next to Mile High Stadium where the Broncos play. All the roads were cordoned off, and she was playing at Mile High, and all of the roads were blocked. So we wanted to catch an Uber, and we had to walk up half a mile to get to the Uber pickup site. And man, what a nightmare! What a nightmare! And there were some fashion nightmares that day too. I mean, folks, I know you really want to dress like Taylor Swift, but
not everybody can dress like Taylor Swift.
It was just, ladies, it's not appropriate. I mean, you own mirrors.
We saw some.
Did you look in them?
We saw some interesting outfits when we went to like Aerosmith and stuff like that. There were some ladies that it was that night that they chose to forget where they were in life, and they were reliving some of the glory days.
I'm not trying to shame anybody.
No,
I'm really not. I just say, hey, if you do what you want to do and you be you. But wow, 2 pounds of sausage in a 1 pound case. It's gonna look how it looks. You know what I'm saying?
That just makes me think of now. I can't imagine wearing baggy pants like I used to.
And they're coming back. Have you seen people wearing?
I have. Well, case in point,
I gave all my baggy pants to Goodwill, man.
I don't like wearing them anymore because I feel like there's a sauna in my pants because of all the material that I'm carrying around.
There's some swamp ass happening in those pants.
Big time swamp ass, and I feel like I'm carrying around 2 to 5 pounds of denim on my legs. Right. Yeah. And I remember just I don't know why I was so afraid to wear relaxed fit jeans as a kid in high school. It's I felt like everybody was going to look at me funny. Nowadays, I wouldn't have it any other way. It keeps everything in place, people.
Right.
Same reason why I don't wear boxers anymore, because it doesn't hold anything in the appropriate spot. I mean, I know why women wear bras. Same reason why men wear briefs, because gravity will do its damage over time. You need to keep everything in place if you want it to stay where it is. Mm-hmm. But, that whole, urban legend wives' tale about what happens to guys when they wear boxers. It doesn't happen with the part that you think it's supposed to happen to. It happens with the undercarriage.
If that were true, we'd all have, 12-inch ding dongs.
Like Jeff Foxworthy said, what a liar mom turned out to be.
Right.
Well, it's funny because, I saw as a kid wearing boxers, it's kind of the next step up to being more grown up, which I guess, but not really, because, prior to that, it was your tighty whities, which I will never, ever wear again, ever. I don't even like wearing white briefs because it doesn't look right to me.
I don't have any white underwear in my drawer.
I don't either. It's either gray, blue, or black. That's pretty much all that it is. Maybe too much information for the rest of you, but I'm pretty sure most of the guys watching are yep, same thing.
Well, next time we'll take a poll. Color of underwear, gentlemen and ladies. But, I'm just saying.
No, I just remember like, and I didn't do it until like I've been married to Taryn for a little while. I didn't make the switch from boxers to briefs until I was well into my adult life, and I don't know why I didn't make the switch much sooner.
I switched to boxer briefs years ago, man. They're just the best thing ever.
They are wonderful, and
They're versatile. They're multifunctional.
Multifunctional. Like in Wayne's World, it's like a new pair of underwear. At first, it's constrictive, but after a while, it becomes a part of you.
Right. There you go.
Dad and I were last time I was here, which was just last week. We were watching both the Wayne's World movies, and there are so many good one-liners from both of those movies, and I love the first one, but there's things about the second one that I like better than the first one. I don't know why. They both have very different things to offer in terms of like one-liners, really good funny moments and stuff like that, and then other times they were trying too hard.
What was that line from Wayne's World? In many ways, it was good as the first one. But
We'll never be superior than the original. Well, in many ways, it's superior, but we'll never be as good as the original.
There you go.
And he was talking about Star Trek: The Next Generation.
Mm-hmm.
So, which that was my Star Trek growing up. That was my my Star Trek show that I watched. Where this guy, he watched the original series, which is still fun to watch. It's honestly it's kind of hilarious. Some of the
Captain Kirk always got the girl.
No
matter what color she was.
And he
green, blue.
He didn't drink
black,
tea.
White.
He didn't drink tea. He drank whiskey. At least, or he drank Romulan ale.
There you go.
Which is illegal, and it never became legal.
Thus, the basis of its appeal.
What's it?
Things I hate about you.
That's the basis of its.
Our lives are a bunch of stolen movie lines.
Oh my gosh,
people!
I cannot tell you how many times that you and I, and even Taryn and I, my wife, we utter the phrase "we're screwed," depending on what's happening.
Upbeat.
Oh, I don't want to hear that defeatist attitude. I want to see you upbeat. We're screwed. Oh man, that was
the woman I'm currently dating. Our favorite line is "You're killing me, Smalls."
Yeah. No, absolutely.
Imagine the context in which that line comes out.
That is definitely a classic, and my dad being the big baseball fan that he is, that's I know that's one of his all-time favorite movies.
Absolutely.
My favorite line.
Life lessons in that movie.
My favorite line from that movie is from the late great James Earl Jones. Is when they get the ball back, and then they knock on the door of James Earl Jones' character to bring back his dog, because the dog chased him down and all that stuff, and he says to him, he's like, "You're in trouble, aren't you, son?" And the kid, Smalls, is like, "Yeah, that ball is signed by Babe Ruth." "George signed this? George Herman Ruth?" "Yeah." "I take it back, son. You're not in trouble. You're dead where you stand."
I think anybody watching this can relate to that time when you were a kid. Maybe you took one too many cookies from the cookie jar. You realized that not only did you take too many, but the cookie jar's empty and you were going to get hammered when your mom got home. There
were at least a couple moments where I had that thought in my head when I did or said something that I knew I was going to regret later on. I think one of them was I can't remember what I did, although I'm pretty sure I deserved it. We were sitting.
He did.
Yeah. Me and this guy were sitting next to each other. I was on one couch and he was on a couch next to me. I can't remember where we were. But I said something that I shouldn't have said. I don't even remember what it was. And usually when I did that, my dad's, standard operating procedure was to go, a little brain duster in the back of the head.
Just a little course correction.
Yeah, just a little it was not like, he didn't straight up clock me. He just what the hell's wrong with you? And I was 15. And because I'd been play fighting with my brother so much and guys that I went to school with, my natural reaction was to dodge it. And I swear to God, this man had murder in his eyes. And I'm quickly going, I'm sorry, it's a reflex.
It's just going to intensify the next one.
There were at least a couple moments where I just I'm so dead. My life is over. So, but I'm still here. So apparently I didn't do, I didn't do that bad. Just in the moment.
The coma was short-lived.
In the moment, it felt like I was going to die. It just...
When I told the cop what happened, he goes, "Oh, we get it, Mr. Garrett." No crime was committed here.
That also reminds me of another thing, speaking of cops, where it's just and before you, jump to conclusions. There were no cops called, but I did threaten to call the cops because
another great story.
I was being a little shit. Like, you know, I didn't do it often, but every now and then I got bold. And my dad was giving me a hard time again, probably because I deserved it more than likely. And I just said, you know, he's basically telling me like, I'm going to kick your ass if you keep this up. And I just said, well, call the cops on you. And he turns around, looks at me, and you would expect like yelling or anything like that. No, he looks at me, he's like, all right, go ahead, call the cops. Because you know what's going to happen when you call the cops? They're going to show up. They are going to put you in the back of their car. They're going to talk to me and your mom. I don't know if this is verbatim, but it's close to it.
It's close enough.
It's close enough. And he says, they're going to put you in the back of the car. They're going to investigate me and your mom. And you're not going to spend the night at your house in your bed with all your toys. No, they're going to put you in a home with a bunch of other kids until they clear me and your mom and find out that you were basically full of shit.
Well, they're going to ask you, Mr. Garrett, you can't hit your child. Are you going to stop hitting your child? And I said, no. And they're going to take you.
And they're going to take me. And he's like, so you still want to call the cops? I'm like, no.
I said, good luck getting back in here, man. And it's a pretty sweet deal here. When you go stay in that other place, you're going to realize, hey, I didn't have it so bad.
No.
The door doesn't swing both ways.
Well, it's like,
it's closed behind you.
Again, like Jeff Foxworthy said, he's like, you know, people, you know, kids going on some talk show blaming every problem they have on their parents. He's like, just once I want to hear one kid said, my mama was great, my daddy was great, I'm just a shithead.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much how it was in those moments. The story I like to tell, just because looking back, it's so damn funny. One of the golden rules in my house, and even after him and my mom split up, it was still the golden rule. Basically, was you always respect your mother, do not disrespect your mom, or I'll have your ass. Basically, that was the golden rule. And I remember one time in particular, I was like in 5th or 6th grade. I was in my room. And this is the reason why we don't have TVs in our kids' rooms. I had a TV in my room, and I'm supposed to be doing my homework, and so I take a break, and I turn on the TV when I'm supposed to be doing my homework. My mom hears it, comes in the room. I barely turn it off before she gets in. She's like, "Were you watching TV?" I'm like, "No," and she leaves.
Can you believe it? This boy lied to his dear mother.
Yeah, because I never lied to you guys about anything. Just I got smart later in life, and I didn't tell you when I'd lied about something.
He finally figured it out.
Yeah. So
this boy used to tell on himself when he was little.
Whole other rabbit hole.
Because then you have to do something about it.
Yeah, I remember there's a couple times when I told my dad I did something bad when I could have just totally gotten away with it, and it wasn't even that bad. And he's like, when I tell him, he's like, well, now I have to punish you. Thank you. Appreciate that.
I even coached him. I said, do you realize if I don't ask, you don't have to tell me anything?
I thought that was a trap.
He couldn't figure it out.
I thought that was a trap. I thought it was like, no, you'll figure it out. I should just tell you. But anyways, so my mom almost she more or less caught me watching TV, but I lied and she walks away. And so I wait for a bit and then I turn the TV back on and she comes back in and she catches me. And long story short, I gave her sass and with some bullshit of like, Mom, sometimes I need a little noise to focus and do stuff. I was so full of shit. And because I talked back to her, she was none too happy. And she uttered the phrase, just wait until your dad gets home. And in my head, I'm thinking, whatever. And so I don't turn the TV back on because I'm thinking I don't want to get another lecture. And so I guess I did my homework. I don't know. But I hear my dad come home. He goes upstairs like he normally does. He gets out of his work clothes. And I hear my mom talking to him. I can't really hear what she's saying, but I can only assume that she's Charlie Brown's parents. But and the thing is, he doesn't come like straight to my room.
Gotta let the tension build.
So I, like the little dumbass I was, thinking, oh, maybe I'm in the clear. Maybe I'm just going to get a little talking to, and that's it. And I go downstairs. I haven't seen my dad. I've only heard him come in the house. I haven't actually seen him. And quick little piece of background information. I was taking martial arts at the time. This will come into play in a second. And I'm walking downstairs. Next thing I know, my dad grabs me. He's like in like the laundry room garage area or something like that. He opens the door, grabs me, and throws me into the garage. At least that's what it felt like from my perspective. And I'm like standing there in front of him, and he's just looking at me and says, "Put him up." And my response was, "Huh?" And he says, "Show me what you've learned in Taekwondo. Put him up." And I'm like, what is happening right now? And he basically, in so many words, says to me, "If I ever hear that you talk to your mom like that again, next time I won't give you a chance to defend yourself." And that was it.
What I said was, nobody talks to my wife like that. Not even one of my children.
Mm-hmm.
Anyone disrespects my wife, I'm going to have to take him down a peg, including you.
But she took me down a couple pegs. I learned my lesson that day. I would get into arguments with my mom later in life, but that was like the normal stuff. But yeah, no, I never sassed my mother ever again for fear of retribution, because it was obvious that retribution would come whether I was ready for it or not.
Well, I was taught the same lesson many years before.
Yes.
Handing down the knowledge that I was given by my dad.
Well, and I'm pretty sure you got that knowledge handed to you in a much less
It was a tad more violent.
courteous way, because my dad, I mean,
Yeah, there was shaking involved.
it's like in The Simpsons, like, "Why you little?"
Yeah, it was something like that.
Like hands around neck shaking type stuff. And back when parents could get away with that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
In fact,
In my day, they didn't care if they left marks. So
well, it was a different time.
it was.
And although my dad,
Children didn't have as many rights.
children had no rights.
Well, that's what I was trying to imply.
They had minimal rights.
Everyone out there gets it.
You had the right to live and breathe unless I say otherwise. That was kind of the standard at the time, growing up in the 70s, but
60s.
And 60s. But yeah, no, it's something I laugh my ass off about, because I just look at myself and I'm thinking, like, the line from the Eagles song, "Get over it. I'd like to find your inner child and kick its little ass."
There you go.
That's pretty much like, just looking back, oh man. But I learned. I actually did learn, and I never,
Which is a good thing.
I never made those kinds of mistakes more than once, maybe twice, depending on how much leeway or grace I was given. Because there were times when he's like, "Okay, I'm giving you one last shot not to fuck around and find out." And then I would fuck around and I found out. So
Funny story. His granddad, we were in front of his house when Kyle was a baby, maybe 2 years old, and Kyle was doing something he wasn't supposed to do. I told him no, and then Kyle, thought I was joshing, I guess, because then he did whatever it was, touched something he wasn't supposed to touch that could have hurt him, and so I went over and grabbed him by one arm and I gave him a quick swat on the butt. Nothing ferocious or anything like that. And of course he started to cry, and my dad looks at me and he says, "Asshole."
I would have been like, "Hypocrite."
And I looked at him and said, "Oh, really? Coming from you, the guy who used to swat us just for looking at you funny?" And he says to me, and I quote, he says, "Oh, come on. When I spanked you guys, I never swatted you more than 7 or 8 times." And I said, "And for that, I thank you." I mean, these weren't swats. These were beatings. Okay. A belt was involved with some piece of equipment which usually used to administer discipline: a belt, a wiffle ball bat, a ruler, a yardstick,
or just
a tree branch,
or just a stick.
Yeah, a stick. Yeah. So
I'm grateful for the fact. Now, granted, when I was a kid, or at least for like 3 years of my childhood, 3 or 4 years, we lived in a desert, so there were no tree branches for me to go out and cut from a tree. I'm thankful my dad never made me cut a switch, because that would have been a whole other.
There were no switches to cut.
There were no switches to cut, but I mean, he could have just made me walk around the backyard barefoot, and I'd come in with stickers in my feet.
Exactly.
Which I did. I remember when we first moved into that house, I went into the backyard barefoot, and I came in with bloody feet. I learned that day, like
desert life, not all it's cracked up to be.
No, but yeah, no, it was always the belt, and then again, to be fair, I think I only got it maybe a dozen times in my life, maximum. That was a reserved discipline. My dad didn't just haul off and give me the belt because I looked at him wrong, or I was breathing funny. It was one of those things where and he actually hung it up in my room when I was a kid. He put a nail in the wall next to my door frame, and he hung this big fucking leather belt Didn't have the cowboy buckle, but you might as well have had the cowboy buckle because it was that kind of belt. And he hung it there as a reminder. This is what happens when you step out of line. So don't forget. And I did not. And thankfully,
Kyle was a quick learner.
and
his brother was even quicker.
Oh, yeah.
Never had to spank him. We called him Baby Jesus. That kid was never in trouble.
Blonde baby Jesus.
What Kyle dealt with, like, I want no part of anything.
Mm-hmm. Although I feel like Corey almost died on a few more occasions than I ever did. Just like, remember that one time you almost sent him flying down the stairs?
We were messing around in this house. I do remember. And
it was a single
straight
staircase.
And I tossed a ball at him and it hit him and it bounced off of him. And of course, what does he do? He falls backwards, and
he was like not even 4 years old.
He might have been 40 pounds,
And thank God I was behind him because I caught him.
Yeah.
And I'm like looking up at my dad, like, "Oh my God, you almost killed him!"
Right. And
I remember you were
open, and then Corey's laughing.
You're standing at the top of the stairs, like
with my mouth hanging open. Yeah, it's just like.
And my brother just starts laughing his ass off, and I'm like,
he almost broke his neck,
or something. Could have cracked his head because like it was a very and it was a ridiculously steep staircase in that house, if memory serves. Like the steps were very narrow, and like they weren't very big steps, and it was just straight up. It wasn't didn't round about like the staircase in the next house we lived in, or even the one you currently live in, or even my house. It was just straight up. And we were just horsing around. We were having fun. We were having a good time. And like I'm behind my brother, and I'm probably like 9 years old at the time. And it just throws this thing at him and just like right into my arms. And I'm like, if I cursed at the time, I'd be like, holy shit. It was scary.
Yeah.
I was a little scared. And I don't think and either of us were more scared than this guy over here, because it was just one of those moments you're like, oh shit, I almost killed my kid.
And then there were the moments where you almost put his eye out with a batarang. It's just little things that happen in life.
I will never outlive that ever. And he still has the scar above his eye because
got it turned into a great story and not a disaster.
Oh my God. I literally almost took my brother's eye out because he had this bat plane, like the bat wing from the animated show. The thing about this toy is you could take the wings off, and him and I would always take them off and sword fight with them. And I remember we were in the family room and we were playing, and then he comes at me with it, and I start running towards the stairs, and then I like threw mine behind me to kind of like, I guess, slow him down. And then I turn around and he's not there, and he's sitting on the floor with his legs out in front of him, and he's got his hand above his eye, and I'm like, oh crap. Now, to his credit, he did not cry. He didn't cry. He was just sitting there like, and Mom almost...
He never cried unless he saw the blood.
Mom almost killed me. It was one of those other moments, come to Jesus moments, where I'm thinking, oh great, I almost killed my brother and now I'm about to die. I'm being dramatic, obviously, but...
Kyle Garrett, you injured your brother.
Prepare to die. But that was par for the course for me and that guy. And I have almost hurt him horribly on a few different occasions. Like the one time I punched him in the jaw.
All in good fun.
All in good fun, but it always ends up with somebody getting hurt, and it was usually him.
It's that old line. It's always funny until someone gets hurt.
And then it's hilarious. Which now it's hilarious, but at the time, I don't think that he found it all that funny, because he was always the one that got hurt.
Well, so, we're all laughing now.
We're all laughing now, although when I tell that story, Corey's just like, you fucker. That's pretty much how it is now. But, oh my gosh, no. It was... It was interesting growing up in the 90s for me, just because like I think back, like just I feel like it was more fun back then than it is now. It was a different kind of fun just because things were far more simple, and you had less to worry about, and didn't have as many distractions as we do now.
Yeah, now you can't watch the news, man. I don't watch the news.
No, can't watch the news.
It's all bad news now.
No, and no real good news. I'm not a huge fan of like anytime it involves something revolving around DC, I have to scroll past it, or I can only watch like 5 seconds of it, because otherwise I'm just gonna like cringe myself into a coma, because that's just, that's how fun things are right now. But we don't need to talk about politics.
Oh, please, let's not do that.
Please, no. So, but, well, guys, I mean, there's obviously so much more that we could talk about, and it's all good stuff. But I will say that, obviously this is just the closing of one chapter and moving into another one. I know we will both miss this place a lot.
Yeah.
But there will be another place to make new memories and do more fun stuff and have fun get-togethers and do cool shit over at the new house. And, whatever happens, I'm looking forward to it. And as long as you and I can sit down and have a cigar, I really don't care where we're at.
Right.
So.
Yep. Nothing more important than family.
No.
As long as you've got that.
Absolutely. And
it works itself out.
Exactly. So, but Dad, thanks for hopping on to the podcast. I know that I'm always happy to have you on whatever I do on the channel, and I know everybody else is always happy to see you. So
great to be seen, everybody. Thanks for your compliments. I appreciate them.
Absolutely. Yes.
Watch this boys podcast.
Please do. We have a good time over here. It's always nice when I can actually have the guest live next to me and not over, a Zoom meeting or something like that, even though those conversations turn out pretty great too. It's always nice when you have the person sitting next to you and you can have a conversation with them. But appreciate you guys tuning in. And this has been a really great conversation. We're going to go just chill one more time over in the California room. There'll probably be a couple more times before it's all said and done that we get to hang over there.
We got 17 days left.
Yeah.
And counting.
So I'm going to be probably over here at least a couple more times before it's all said and done, just because we can get the most out of it before.
We may do one from the empty family room just for fun, so you can hear the echo of the tile floor with no furniture in it.
Yep. It should be, it's going to be, like I said, bittersweet, but moving on to bigger and better things, I think. And there's
maybe not bigger, but better.
Definitely better things. So, all right, guys, I'm going to ask my dad the same question I ask every guest on the show. Dad, who rules?
Revelers rule.
Exactly. And if you are listening or watching, of course, that means you too. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. And I hope you guys are staying safe, staying healthy, and keeping it smoky as always. And we will see you guys next time.
Peace.
Peace.